Those who were still publicly visible were the ones who had already taken the mark of the beast and had been changed. As a believer, I knew what this meant. The lure that the system presented if you accepted the mark was that you could be made immortal, you would never get sick, you would not age, and you would never die. However, I knew this was a lie. It was only meant to get as many people as possible to take the mark of the beast without understanding truly what it meant. Many people willingly took the mark and were forever changed, as it restructured their DNA, and they were then not fully human anymore, meaning that they were no longer redeemable through Father's blood sacrifice on the cross. They had become part of Satan's kingdom and were more robotic than human, easily controlled and with little to no emotion, as they did not think for themselves anymore. A refuge. We were in a home where we had been instructed to stay indoors and not allow anyone to enter unless they had been sent by Father. We were given discernment to know who was and who was not of Father. Many were desperate and cried out and begged for us to allow them to enter. However, we were told that because of the increased demonic activity outside, as well as the implementation of the mark, many people had been changed, and were no longer his people, even though they portrayed themselves to be friends, family members and loved ones, and even very young children. My daughter told me that the hardest part was not being able to allow certain children in, as they were crying and scared and obviously in distress. Our spirits knew, however, that they were not fully human. They were the offspring of parents who had been corrupted by Satan's seed and who had taken the mark of the beast, and they were not of Father. She told me that our family was completely protected, although we were told to strictly adhere to our instructions and not allow anyone, except those of Father, to enter his refuge. End of her dream. 𝘀cie speaks, daughter, tell them that it is out of my great love for my children that I give you these visions and dreams and so many previous words and warnings from my heart. You are no match for the enemy and his hordes of hell, and without me, you will succumb. Those remaining after the first fruits have been translated will be hunted. They will be persecuted as never before. Those who live through the judgments of famine and pestilence and war, devastation by storms and great fire, will find themselves running for their lives. My warning shout out again to you, do not accept the mark of the beast. Do not take anything in your body, in your forehead or in your hand in order to buy or sell or do business, as by doing this, your very DNA will be altered, restructured and programmed, and you will not be fully human any longer, and you will not belong to me. Many who profess my name at that point and refuse the mark will be martyred, but this is a great honor for those who will suffer for my name's sake. Once the mark is taken, those who have the mark will be used by the enemy to lure those who have not taken the mark into traps to trick them. These programmed individuals who have been altered and are not mine anymore will appear in forms resembling those you know and love in order to capture you. It is imperative that you know of these things before they happen, so that you will be informed and very circumspect. So many will perish from lack of knowledge. Do not be one of these. Many more than you are aware of, even right now walking amongst you, are not fully human. They are soulless beings that can take the shape or form of anything familiar to deceive you. Only those who walk intimately with me are gifted with the discernment to distinguish between these altered beings and my creation. As I have spoken through my daughter in the past, hybrids and offspring once known are being released as well, to appear again as part of the great war on my people by the enemy. He has gone to great lengths to amass an army that will fight against me and my people in these last days. Those whose DNA is changed by the mark will join the men of renown in forming this vast multitude. This is why I speak to you that you are no match for the wicked one and the evil schemes he has implemented. When you don't know my voice, when you haven't discarded all the menial distractions of this life that you use for entertainment, you continue to drift further and further into the sea of complacency, numbness, and apathy. The programming being done by all your devices and your media drown out the voice of your Creator, and you cannot expect me to come to your cries of help when all suddenly changes, if you have not taken the time to learn of me and seek me with all your heart, soul and strength. What more can I say to you as your Father? You do not have years left to figure this out. You do not have months. The clock strikes midnight, The hourglass is empty, the shofar is blasting my warnings, the die is cast. Recompense is here. Judgment is set. What has begun will not be stopped. It is come. The Lion of the tribe of Judah thunders from the heavens. Will you be found worthy to escape all that is upon you? Choose me this hour.